Hello and welcome on this new midweek analysis video from Xtreme Trader. This is Salah speaking. So before we start the market analysis, I want to make sure that everyone is clear about that today we're having the FOMC statement for the USD pairs, and also we will be having the ISM PMI as well. Of course, they are very important, and they actually, of course, the first of this year. That's the reason I believe the market yesterday has went, of course, off direction, and as we can see, all of the analysis went wrong, and I believe this is normal. What happened here, of course, except for the euro, for the USD JPY, I believe it has almost reversed from the sell entry and went to the take profit level. Meanwhile, the other pairs, of course, didn't work, except also for the gold. The gold has also went to the take profit level, of course, without triggering our buy area. Still, we have to be aware that this analysis might be changed upon the news, and therefore we have to be sure to close any opened trade before the news are out. Of course, there is another strategy to trade the news, which I have already released on my channel. Let me just show it to you, which is right there. And as you can see, of course, this is my channel. If you just click on the playlists, and from the playlist, just click on Forex scalping strategies, and you will find here, my friends, this video, which says here, learn how to make money by trading Forex news. So again, please be extra careful and aware that this analysis might be changed upon the news, which will come out today at 11 p.m. Dubai time, 7 p.m. GMT time, and also the ISM PMI, which is going to be held out by 3 p.m. GMT time, 7 p.m. Dubai time. So let's now begin with the midweek analysis video. And let's of course start with the Euro USD. Of course, we have to get rid of the old signal. It's no longer valid. So let's see now, my friends, what we can do next with the market. And before that, I want to mention something here. Sometimes, of course, the analysis might go wrong. And guys, trust me, this is really normal. It's nearly impossible to find someone who can guess the direction of the market every single time correctly. I believe most of the time my analysis is correct. However, it cannot be accurate every single time. For that, of course, we have to be prepared and ready for any potential losses. However, it's really important to mention that for the Euro USD right now, we are having here a very strong key resistance level exactly at 1.05875. Now, the market has already made here the bearish breakout from that support trend line, which means that most likely right now, if we check here the resistance trend line like this, all we need to do right now, my friends, is simply drag the very same resistance trend line and place it just at the nearest or the next resistance trend line that we're having in the pattern. And check this out. We are having here that resistance trend line, which was previously also a resistance trend line, and seems like we had here the fake breakout number 1, fake breakout number 2, and right now the market is after this strong bearish breakout candle is most likely going to continue the fall till it reaches the same level of the nearest resistance to that bearish breakout candle. This is one ideal setup, I believe, and I think it's going to be a good signal to start trading here and shorting the Euro USD. However, we still have to keep in mind about the FOMC statement and, of course, the ISM PMIs. They might, of course, change this signal. Therefore, we have to wait for the Euro USD to rise for about 23 pips more before we can start shorting it. And if we are lucky enough, the take profit level, my friends, got to be placed right here at the nearest support to the entry at 1.04643, which means the take profit level is going to be about 120 pips. Meanwhile, the safe zone shouldn't actually be ranging, if we go back to the 4-hour time frame, shouldn't be ranging higher than this level of a previous support right there. Just right there, exactly at 1.06495, which means the safe zone is ranging for about 61 pips against 123 pips of profit. Moving now to the pound USD. Alright, so again right now, my friends, regarding the pound USD, of course, the signal didn't work, as I said. Actually, almost all of the pairs didn't work except for the USD JPY and the gold. However, what's happening right now here for the USD JPY is really interesting, because we are having here already a broken level of a support exactly at 1.20139, and as you can see, the market has already retested that level and created here a resistance number 1, which means I believe it's gonna be a good idea to start shorting again if the market will make another pullback upon the pressure from the support right here at 1.19570, the market will make another pullback, and most likely we can start shorting the pound USD exactly on the second attempt of that support. We need to make sure that this level is very strong. So the way to do that is by switching to the daily chart. And as we can see, my friends, this was, of course, a very strong key resistance level exactly at 1.2012. Now, if we look at the 4-hour time frame again, and if we check the resistance trend line, we can check how the market is actually respecting that level as a resistance trend line, as you can see right here. So we're having here now this channel, and seems like the market indeed is gonna be bouncing on it and respecting the same level of a resistance trend line. Of course, it's gonna be respecting it upon the pressure from that resistance level right there. And as we can see, the market has already made here the first attempt. Therefore, shorting the pound USD exactly at that level, we can actually expecting from it to continue the fall till it reach that level of a support at 1.770. Therefore, we will have to wait for the pound USD to rise for about 28 pips more before we can start shorting it. However, the take profit level this time is going to be placed just right there at the absolute lowest level of the support right here at 1.18960, which means we are actually expecting to make approximately 113 pips profit from the signal. Meanwhile, the safe zone shouldn't be ranging higher than this level of a resistance right there at 1.20753, because if the market is going to be able to break out from that level, or this, it means that the market has actually been able to break out from that channel, which means the market has a potential to continue the rise. Now, someone might tell me, but Salah, the market has just reversed from that support right there. So how come you're telling us to start shorting right here? Well, let me just tell you something. First of all, if we go to the daily chart again, what we are seeing right here, my friends, is a very strong key level of a resistance right there at 1.22633. Now we can see that the market has made here several attempts to break out from that long-term resistance at that level. So meaning the market is most likely going to continue the fall right now. Now let's just give it deeper analysis just to be sure that what we are doing here is correct. So what I will do right now is simply draw a Fibonacci retracement and check this out. The market, my friends, has just reversed from 61.8 Fibonacci retracement, and right now it's actually below 50 retracement. And after seeing that the market has made here a real level of a resistance, then that structure right here is actually a fake breakout. Now we can see that this level of a real resistance has actually been respected. Eventually what we're having right here is actually a head and shoulders pattern. Indicates that the pound USD is most likely going to continue the rise. At this point, I don't see any strength to start buying the pound USD at the moment. It most likely, my friends, going to continue the fall. Not to mention, of course, that we are having here also a support trend line which has been broken out from. And as we can see, the market already broke out from that level of a support trend line and seems like it's going to make here the retest of that level. All these things says that the pound USD is most likely going to continue the fall. That's the reason I'm sending you the signal to start shorting the pound USD exactly on that level. Moving now to the AUD USD. Alright, so let's take a look at the AUD USD and let's see what we can do next with this pair. Now let's take a look at the daily chart. Now on the daily chart, we can see, my friends, that we had right there exactly the real level of a resistance at 0.68311. Now pay attention, the market has already made here a strong real level of a resistance. Then we had here number one fake breakout, another fake breakout, and pay attention that the same level, it was a real resistance as well, and it has already been respected. So that means that the AUD USD is also going to be bearish for the at least for this day, at least before the FOMC statement and the ISM news hit the market. Now the question is where exactly we can start shorting the AUD USD. Now if we check this pattern right there, we can see clearly that we had right here another real level of a resistance exactly and precisely at 0.67945. Now check this out. This was a real level of a resistance, a fake breakout number one, fake breakout number two, and another fake breakout, which means that the market most likely is going to continue the rise, and we are having right here the nearest real level of a resistance to that fake breakout. Of course, it's a fake breakout because this candle right there has actually fooled us, and we thought that the AUD USD is going to continue the rise, but that didn't happen. And of course, this was the nearest resistance to that fake breakout. Therefore, I believe we can start short the AUD USD exactly at that point as 0.67945, which means we have to wait for this pair to rise for about 24 pips before we can start selling it. And even if we check the 4-hour time frame, what we're having right here is interesting. We're having here, of course, that support trend line, and as you can see, the market, my friends, has made here the breakout from that level of a support trend line. And now we can expect from the market to continue the rise, retesting that level of a broken support trend line to create, of course, a new resistance trend line. And again, the real level of a resistance is most likely gonna be respected. Therefore, we will be shorting the AUD USD right there exactly, and the take profit level got to be placed exactly right here at the nearest strong key support level to the entry as 0.66517, which means actually we can even make it higher than that. This is, of course, the nearest support to our entry, not this one. This is the nearest support to the entry, which means we can actually expect to make approximately 100 pips profit from the signal, and the safe zone should not be ranging higher than the level of a real resistance right there, because we had here a fake breakout. Therefore, this was, of course, the nearest real level of a resistance to our entry. So therefore, it got to be right here, the edge of the safe zone at exactly the same level of that real resistance, which means the safe zone is ranging for about 52 pips against 100 pips of profits. Moving to the USD CAD. Alright, so regarding the USD CAD, if we check here the daily chart, my friends, right now, what we can actually see right here is very clear setup for buying the pair. Now we can see clearly that the market has actually made here a very strong key support level. Actually, this is ideal setup for buying. I usually trust this kind of setup when I want to buy the market. Once we are seeing here a real level of a support, which has been followed later with a fake breakout and a very strong bullish candle, all we need to do right now is simply waiting for the candle to fall right here and reach the same level of that support, and after that we can start buying the pair. It's again a very simple and ideal setup, and we have to wait for the market to fall for about 45 pips before we can start buying it. Of course, not to mention that we're having here a support trend line, and by waiting for the market to fall right here to that level of support, we can actually expect from it to respect that level of a support trend line, and after that it's gonna continue the rise. Also, another thing we have to keep in our mind here, that we're having a broken level of a resistance trend line as well. That is important. So that was, of course, a broken level of a resistance trend line. That was the bullish breakout from it. Therefore, we can start buying right here exactly at the retest of that level of a resistance trend line. And keep in mind, it was, of course, a very strong key support level. So most likely, the market will indeed respect that level and continue the rise. I cannot see the USD CAD falling at this point. Most likely, it's gonna continue the rise. Therefore, the take profit level, my friends, has to be placed, of course, right there at the nearest resistance to our entry at 1.37055, which means we're actually expecting to make approximately 116 pips profit from the signal. Let me just go back to the 4-hour time frame. And of course, the safe zone shouldn't be ranging lower than this level of a support right here at 1.35349, which means the safe zone is ranging for about 53 pips against 118 pips of profit. Moving to the USD JPY. Alright, so regarding the USD JPY, my friends, now let's move to the weekly chart. We need to see what's going on with this pair. So far, the USD JPY has actually went all the way below that level of a support. It went all the way for about 100 pips lower than this support. However, it has reached 129.504, and then it has reversed. So meaning the market has already reached that level of a previous support exactly right there, and then started the reversal, which means the USD JPY is actually facing a pressure from breaking out from that level of a support. That support is most likely gonna keep its position, and seems like the pair is indeed struggling to break out from it. I cannot see actually the USD JPY breaking out from that level at this point, especially seeing that we have seen here a retest already happened 2 weeks ago. The market has already reached that level of a strong support, and then it has reversed, and now it's retesting it again this week. Now, what's gonna happen next, in my opinion, that the USD JPY, I keep saying gold, the USD JPY is gonna make here a bullish reversal, and that support indeed is gonna be respected. I cannot see the gold as I cannot see the USD JPY actually breaking out from that level of a support. That being said, based on the daily chart, let's now move to the 4-hour time frame. Now on the 4-hour time frame, all we need to do is confirming a place where we can actually a level where we can start buying the USD JPY. Now let's just move to the left side. Let's just scroll to the left, and let's identify the real level of a support and resistance. Now, as you can see, my friends, this was indeed where the line is right now at 130.465. Indeed, it was the lowest level of a strong support, which was previously a real level of a resistance. Exactly at 130.465. Therefore, if we scroll now to the right side, we can see how the market has already respected that level. Now, scrolling to the left, to the right side again, we can see the multiple times where the market has already respected that level of a support, which means I'm going to actually keep the same level to start buying the gold for. What's wrong with me? I keep saying gold. The USD JPY, the USD JPY, USD JPY, USD JPY. To keep buying the USD JPY from that level. Let's move to the 1-hour time frame just to be more specific, and exactly we can see right there, right here. This was, of course, my friends, the nearest real level of a support to this fake breakout candle, and we can see here another fake breakout happened multiple times. However, we can see that the market right now is facing a resistance right here. Therefore, we can start actually, we can expect from the USD JPY to fall all the way right here, retesting the same level of a nearest strong support level, and afterwards is gonna continue the rise. But we need something more to confirm this entry. So the way to do that is, of course, by using the resistance trend lines. I'm going to draw here a resistance trend line all the way like that. Check this out. This was, of course, my friends, the real level of a resistance trend line. And as you can see, we had here the retest of that level. So meaning that level of a support trend line, the broken level of a resistance trend line has already been retested. So meaning this was, of course, a support trend line number 1. And we can actually start buying the pair exactly at the second attempt of the support trend line number 2. That being said, of course, we have to wait for the USD JPY to fall for about 30 pips before we can start buying it. And of course, the take profit level, if we do that, has to be placed right there at that level of a nearest resistance to our entry at 131.924, which means we're actually expecting to make approximately 100 and I would say about 140 pips profit from the signal. Meanwhile, this safe zone will not be ranging lower than this level of a support at 129.997 for about 52 pips. Moving now to the USD CHF. Alright, again for the USD CHF, what we can see right here, the first thing appears on the daily chart is that full strong bar and of course bullish engulfing candle, which means we have to expect buying the USD CHF at a certain point. Now pay attention, right there exactly. We're having here, my friends, the nearest support to that entry, to that bullish breakout candle exactly at 0.93105, which means that support is most likely going to be respected. This setup is really similar to the USD CAD. Very similar to the USD CAD. Check this out. Almost the same setup. We had here the support level, we had here the bullish breakout from that level of a resistance right here, and that support is most likely gonna be respected. Very similar to that setup, we're having here the nearest support level to that bullish breakout candle, so most likely it has to be respected. So therefore, we have to wait for the USD CHF to fall for about 28 pips before we can start buying it. Now moving to the 4-hour time frame. Now on the 4-hour time frame, the first thing that we can notice right here is that the real level of a resistance has already been respected. So that level of a support already became a real level of a resistance. Then we had here 1 and 2 fake breakouts from that level. Meanwhile, we can see right here also another attempt of a resistance, which means after the fake breakout happened, the market has already went below that level of a resistance, which means that level of a real resistance has been respected. That being said, I believe that this is of course the real level of a previous resistance, and there exactly we can start buying the USD CHF, just to be sure and accurate, exactly at 0.93125. And just, I believe it's very simple and very clear setup, and I hope it's gonna work well. And therefore, if we do that, the take profit level, my friends, got to be placed at least right there at the nearest resistance to our entry at 0.947. 945.75, which means the take profit level is going to be about 146 pips against the safe zone, which will not be ranging lower than this level of a support right there. Exactly. Wait a minute. No, that's too much. I mean, that's fine. That's fine. That's totally fine. Yes, the safe zone shouldn't be ranging lower than this level of a support right here at 0.92605, which means the safe zone will be ranging for exactly 50 pips against 146 pips of profit. Moving now to the gold. Alright, so regarding the gold, let's now first of all move to the weekly chart. And based on the weekly chart, the first thing that we can spot right here is that level of a real resistance exactly right there at 1877.25, which means the gold is most likely going to continue the rise for about 300 pips more till it reach that level of a resistance, and afterwards we can actually perhaps shorten the pair, but still until then we cannot decide anything. So the only thing that we can see right now is just buying the gold. Now the question is where exactly we can start buying this pair. Moving now to the daily chart. So we have identified the direction on the weekly chart. Now on the daily chart, we will just try to confirm another good entry, and if we can't, we will just move back to the 4-hour time frame. Now the first thing that we can notice right here, my friends, is that breakout candle. I want to mention this. I want to talk about this. That breakout candle from that level of a resistance. Once you see a resistance level being broken out from, and the bullish breakout candle looks like exactly like this with a long wick at the top and small tail at the bottom, if that was the bullish breakout candle from that resistance, it means a continuation in the momentum. Usually it works almost all of the time, and if I want to find the quick examples, of course, the same works as a bearish breakout candle. If we see a support level has been broken out from with a candle that looks like that, if just upside down candle, which means it's gonna be a long tail at the bottom and a small wick at the top, it means a continuation in the momentum as well. Therefore, if I want to find here examples, I'm trying to find something here. I want to find a bullish breakout candle looks like exactly what I'm saying. I don't think we have much time for that. Trying to find it here in this structure. So far I cannot find it. Let me just scroll more to the left. Hopefully I can find one quickly so I can prove my point. I need a breakout candle, look like that. I cannot find anyone right now. That one actually can be considered as one of them. This, of course, was a bullish breakout candle. It has a small wick at the top, at the bottom, and longer wick at the top. And as we can see, the market has went in a bullish direction. And I believe we can see the same candle also right there. That is, of course, another breakout candle. And pay attention, it has a very small wick at the top and longer tail at the bottom, indicates that the market has indeed went down for about 400 pips. However, that being said, my friends, the gold is most likely gonna continue the rise. Now, again, we need to find a place where we can start buying the gold. Let's move now to the 4-hour time frame. Now, on the 4-hour time frame, all what we can notice right here is that level, that triangle or a channel. I prefer to call it a channel because I just feel like it. However, the gold, my friends, has indeed made the breakout from that long-term triangle. And as you can see, after respecting that triangle for a long time, the gold has finally made the bullish breakout from it. Indicates that the gold might actually fall again right here to retest the same level of a support exactly right there. Let me just be sure. Just exactly right there. Exactly at 1835.78, sorry. That level, my friends, is exactly where we can start buying the gold again. And let's just scroll to the left side to confirm if this was, of course, a real level or a strong level of a support. And sure enough, we can see right there that level has actually been indeed a very strong key support level, and most likely the gold will be respecting that level. Check this out. The gold has already respected that level multiple times. So that being said, I believe it's going to be safe to buy the gold at 1836.55. And of course, the take profit level has to be placed as the resistance, which I have mentioned earlier, at 1877.25, which means we can actually expect to make about 413 pips profit from this signal. Meanwhile, the safe zone is going to be ranging just a little bit lower than this level of a support, because if the market is going to be able to fall back inside of this triangle and reach the edge of the safe zone, it means that this trade is no longer safe, is no longer valid, and means the gold is gonna be ranging inside of this triangle again. But I just doubt that this is gonna happen. Therefore, the safe zone is ranging for about 118 pips against 407 pips of profit. And there goes the signal, my friends, for the remaining days of this week. But again, I have to warn everyone and remind you guys, the news, please be careful. I mean, this is maybe the third or fourth time I'm warning you about paying attention to this news. The ISM PMI and mainly the FOMC statement news for the USD pair, which is gonna held out at 11 p.m. Dubai time, 7 p.m. GMT time. These news, my friends, will rock the market. We might actually change all of the signals which I have sent you today. So please make sure to close any open position before the news hit the market. I don't want to see anyone complaining about the signals if they have failed because of the news, because I'm here warning everyone multiple times to close the trades before the news are out. No trader with his reason, with a normal brain will keep the trade running during this news, to be honest. I'm sorry to say that, but I have to say it. No one at all should be keeping the trade running during these news. These news, they have their own strategy, which I have already explained in that video. Please head out to watch it. But again, be careful about the news and pay attention to them. Until then, my friends, I hope that is informative to you, and I would like to thank you for watching.